Okay, I need to do this. Yeah. All right, if you're trying to bare minimum your way into Bonnaroo and you haven't gotten your stuff yet, minimum thing you need is a tent. Looks like the cheapest one at Walmart is gonna be 30, but you know, you may need some help to put it up. So the one that I mentioned that's at Five Below is basically a one-person show. Though these tents are available at my local Walmart, I would suggest getting this as soon as possible. If you are going to have to fly, I think one of these could fit in a check bag. One person backpacking tent, and that's 32. But you know, remember, if you're trying to rely on yourself, a pop-up one's good, but you can always make friends with your neighbors, as usually people are pretty good about helping. Also, if you're gonna try to save money and cook and you don't have a lot of other people, getting one of these so that you could just get some fuel to go with it if you're driving. One of these at $18.87, and any big fuel source to cook with would be ideal. So, you know, what is this? I don't think it says specifically any type it needs to be. Oops. But this and one of these, so that's going to set you back about another $30. Or you can go for a Coleman, which is $30 on its own plus the fuel source. Of course, a lighter is a good idea. 97 cents for this Ozark trail, and then they get a little bit more expensive to the $9.88 lighter. And it's not the worst idea to get waterproof matches, as there's been a couple wet days at Bonnaroo as of late, so you don't want something that will not work once it's wet. If you're doing some serious cooking, this cast iron skillet is about $10, and you know, you could do a lot of stuff in there. What I did years ago, if I could find what I'm looking for that I bought here, is I actually bought one of those single little cups. I literally have a cup like this because worst case scenario, I just was going to survive on ramen, and that is a way to budget like crazy and say get a cup like this. I still use mine at home randomly. It's a coffee cup, but you could boil some water, throw some noodles in there, save yourself a little bit of money by just ramening a couple of meals. If you have the space to be able to bring stuff back and forth, a whole set is nice at $21.88, but I'm certain you can find cheaper sets online still. So keep your options open. I don't remember who I tested, but I've tested a couple of these. I think I tested this skillet a year ago, and it's supposed to be for 2 servings. So if you make a good friend and barter, these are like $11 each. You grab one per day for a couple days and barter away the other half. That's not a bad deal. And it's not the worst idea to have some kind of flashlight. I have some of these. I think I even grabbed some on sale at one point. They're $2 right now. I mean, it's the minimum of what you need. I don't know if there's there might be a cover on this, so that doesn't activate. Yeah, there's a cover on that. So it's all that you'll need. You can carry it on for you for a while, or you could get a headlamp if you know you're gonna need to walk somewhere and you don't want anything infringing on your hands. I mean, it's not absolutely necessary. There's always a ton of light, but in case you're not sure, grab a flashlight or a light source. If you are going to do some extensive cooking, you will need some kind of flat surface. They have these tiny little tables for $15. You know, you will need something off the ground to try and cook with. So here's this little folding 19-inch plastic table. As you can see, it comes up to about my knee, and it's not really sturdy, so of course you'd have to be careful if you're cutting things on it. Upgraded version I see at my store is this is an aluminum table that may be a lot more sturdy. So let's see how it looks. So you can put 110 pounds on it, so definitely more sturdy. It's a lot taller. It's above my knee. You can, yeah, that's a lot more sturdy. If you have the money for it, it's $35, well, $36 before tax. It's an option.